There's always a funny saying on a movie set: who has the tough job, a director or the actors? Standing here right in front of you, I must admit, definitely the actors have the tough job because they'll be facing the camera, lights, and of course, impress the audience. Each and every one of you has a unique story, and in every story, there are ups, downs, and incredible challenges. Challenges like trying to get out of fellow out of the water. I am excited to share my journey as a filmmaker. I'm Shrikant Velagaleti. I'm happy to take you on a ride for this. When you're a kid, or when I was a kid, I always dreamt of being a dancer, being a soldier, being a singer. Thank God, if I have come across this, I would have wanted to become a drummer. Simultaneously, in the meanwhile, my parents, like any other middle class parents, wanted me to pursue a stable career. So, pursuing medicine or engineering. And that's what those days. And back in my day, sports and arts were kind of alien. But one moment literally changed everything for me when I went to see two movies. One is Machinist Gold and Enter the Dragon. Those days, we don't have that online ticket booking thing. So me and my parents, we had to stay in the long line to get the tickets. My parents were very happy when they got the tickets, and I was very happy that we were going to watch the movie now. But I've seen first time a lot of other people who couldn't get the tickets. They were very disappointed that they are not able to see these movies. Particularly, I'm talking about the movie Machinist Gold. So we were happy that we got the tickets. My parents were happy, excited. That was the weekend. And I was happy I'm not with the books. And we went into the theater to watch the movie. In the theater, I spotted my school principal coming with her family to watch the movie. And that was kind of a little shocker for me because I always felt that teachers and principal, all they do is they just live at school. They only print textbooks and they don't have any other life. So first time when I saw my principal along with her family there, she's enjoying the movie. And that moment was a revelation. And first time I felt, oh, you don't have to feel guilty enjoying a movie with your parents, not hitting the books. And while watching the movie, first time as a kid under one roof, I've experienced tremendous celebration, the aura of celebration. Everybody focused on the big screen. Entire audience were thoroughly enjoying the film. And even when we came out of the theater for a few days, everyone around me was talking about the movie, about the cinematography and all that. And I must say, these movies, for lifelong, unknowingly, I was so got attracted to this vast landscapes, and I never miss any opportunity to spend time with horses after that. Any given opportunity, I'll just go on a stud farm or a ranch and spend time with horses. And this point has hooked me to cinema and led me to pursue filmmaking. Now, I've completed a bachelor's in journalism and mass communication, then studied filmmaking, then joined this big Indian film industry as an assistant director, then worked my way around to go up to an associate director. Then one fine day I've decided I'll start independently. But here I want to give one tip to any of you who wants to get into filmmaking and want to join. When you are assistant director, when you are an assistant director on a set, please don't ever invite your mom to the set, because I can still vividly remember as an assistant director with friends and cousins and families, we use very fancy words. Like, I'm helping director with the editing. I'm helping the shot division with the cameraman. And there are a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I have to organize the schedule for post-production and all that. So we use all these fancy words when we are an assistant director interacting outside the field. My mom, she would have felt, oh my God, this guy has come. Okay, and she had come to visit me, and I was in the makeup room. I was helping my hairstylist, and I was blowing the hair of the actress. Literally, my mom came into the green room and she was like, "Oh, Shri, you are not into like makeup department, right? You're a director. You want to be a director, and you said you're writing stories and all." I can't explain. I mean, in a film, you can't say as an assistant director, "I won't do that." Sometimes you just have to carry bags of the actors. Yeah, that's the truth. So please, when you're an assistant director, in case don't ever call, especially mom. Because you would have never helped her, blow dry her hair. And if she sees that you're doing that to the actors, oh my goodness, you're not going to enjoy the lunch or dinner. Once you decided to start that you want to go independently, and what fuels a filmmaker? I would say there are these emotions you connect with. These emotions are extremely strong. Whether you realize it or not, you don't have to be a filmmaker. Emotions, even in your daily life, kind of guide how you behave, how you work, how you take decisions, and all that. In my case, there is this passion. I would say my bedrock emotion is passion, with which I am consistently putting efforts and perseverance to whatever I want to achieve. Then, personally, my superpower emotion is empathy. Once you have this superpower emotion called empathy, you can write brilliant characters which are very relatable, and stories, you can think of stories which are relatable to the audience. And of course, the best other emotions are curiosity, nostalgia, hope, and fear. If you pick up any story or anything, whether it's a novel or a movie, you would find the people behind writing that stories, they would have been driven by any of these emotions. So these were awesome emotions, and I started working independently and looking to create my own stories. Now, this is a very interesting chapter. As a filmmaker, your ideas are intangible. Like, all your ideas are in your brain. I mean, nobody goes to scan. It's not, you can't go to a MRI scan and say, okay, show our ideas. In fact, today morning, when I was listening to Munir, I was getting this idea. Munir, we have to create something like a AI through it should come a hologram, where if Dipali has some idea, and that should come in that hologram, and all these thoughts should come in hologram, so it's easy for pitching and all that. So, but the problem is, it's a very lonely job when you're writing a film script or you're thinking, because you're just with yourself. All your ideas are in your mind, in your brain, and you have to put them on paper. Then it becomes tangible to tell to the people and pitch it. So it's that kind of a situation. I happened to walk randomly into a very big famous bookstore in my city, like a fancy bookstore where you find all kinds of genres of books. I walked into there, and when I walked into that bookstore, I saw a very interesting standee. The standee is like a kind of a poster, you would say, a standee of a recently released book. It's called Cheaters. So this one. So there is this Cheaters, there is a standee, and it got my attention because by that time I understood certain relationships. Students wouldn't know much, but we adults, like, we're familiar with few things like committed relationship by that time, or a living relationship, of course, marriage, and if I need to be a little bold, no strings attached, or friends with benefits. These kinds of knowledge I have in terms of relationships when I saw the standee of Cheaters. But I also am aware of the surroundings and the times we are living in. There is huge influx of this social media platforms and dating apps where people are meeting strangers, they can meet and all that. So I thought, okay, I'll just give it a read. I read this book, and it kind of made me realize, actually, I am another generation now. I mean, when I read this book, I didn't belong to the generation of the book I have read. I personally, as a writer, I wouldn't have written this. But still, I felt it's very relatable to the times I am living in around. So I'll tell you certain terms, the new relationships evolved when I read this book. We have heard about these things which I mentioned, but there is this situationship. There is called love bombing. And there is this youngsters, they're using a term called, what is that? Carry jerking kind of a thing. And there's a age gap relationship. And there is an emotional relationship. There is an inclusivity. All kinds of these relationships were there, and it's happening around us. So I thought I should instantly I've decided when I saw the standee that I want to make a mini series out of it. But I don't know the author. I don't know the publisher. Nothing. I don't know who's going to produce it, but just an idea. But at least I could see there is a tangible standee and a tangible book to it. So instantly I've approached the author, convinced the author to collaborate with me, approached the publishers, I've told them how I'm going to make it, then approached the production house, then rallying the kind of a good cast, crew, and bringing them on board and filming. It was an amazing experience. And when we made this mini series and when I saw that streaming, that was a thrill, because it was like nothing, everything is intangible and you don't know out of the thin air. You just walk into a store, no reference, nothing. You saw a book and you find it relatable and you thought that, okay, this is not the material you would like it, so let's do this because this is more relatable. So that was kind of a high it gives when you think and when you manifest it. That's very important. And the second thing came is this project. This is a Telugu project. Like earlier when I was talking about emotions, like there are certain emotions which drive filmmakers, like empathy, compassion, nostalgia. So there is a script came to me and I was reading that script. Though the writer is a contemporary writer, he has written a story set some 30 years back. The story was sent 30 years back, where these youngsters, young adults or adolescents, you say, so they are navigating with the issues of hormonal change, and those are the teams where parents, teachers, they are not, it's kind of taboo to talk to them about the sexuality and everything. All they have to do is navigate themselves, maybe go and read a biology textbook, or my generation would understand, read some shady literature or magazines. That kind of a situation. So, but it's a very interesting topic which will open a conversation between parents and the teenage kids. So I liked the story, the script instantly when I read it, and I thought I'm going to make a movie out of it. And I wanted to ensure that a lot of audience it should reach. So I made it multilingual. There are two prominent languages in South India, Telugu and Tamil. So I made this as a bilingual film. And this actors and making this film, and when I saw the movie on the big screen with the children, parents, and they appreciating it, that's kind of really a great high as a filmmaker. I'll just share a few working stills. So these are the working stills where, these kids are hardly 13, 14-year-old. But when I remember when I was 13, 14, the only good point I would say at that point in time is we don't have distractions that time. Like today you have this online games and all the kids, even my nephews, all the time they're playing video games. They have a lot of distractions to go. But except that, I'm not this disciplined even that point in time. But these 13, 14-year-old girls, they were so, punctual and hardworking. I had an amazing time filming with them. And this particular photograph, I want to share a very interesting thing which I can never forget. I'm filming in a village, outskirts of a village. And there is this girl. I am sure she is not more than 8 years. She has come from the village to observe shooting, and she has come with her elder sister. And she was observing me for about half an hour or so. I was looking at her. She was looking at me. And in the short gap, we take in intermittently gaps to have some refreshments or all. She came to me. And she said, "Tu kya kar raha hai?" Which means, what are you doing? So her bold question or a blunt question directly pointing to me, it caught me off guard, but I somehow managed. And I've replied her. I'm sitting in front of the monitor. There is a monitor. And what I do is I observe actors enacting there and I instruct them. Then she said, okay, and who are you? Then I introduced myself. Okay, I'm so and so, I'm the director of this film. Then within 1-2 seconds, she said, I want to be a film director. Then I was pleasantly surprised and I was amazingly felt good that she's so spontaneous in making decisions. And that moment, it gave me, I can say, it was so joyous that you could inspire others to pursue the kind of work you love. So that was the moment, and this girl has come into the list of people I always keep in my best prayers. So after that, I got an opportunity to direct a Hindi film with wonderful casts in Bombay. And when I finished the movie with limited resources, the high point at that time was Warner Brothers came into picture to distribute the film. So we are all happy. Okay, Warner Brothers, an international distribution house from Hollywood, they have come to distribute the project. But when it released, I got kind of mixed to negative reviews, and it was my low moment. And those low moments, those are the times they test you and really test your mental willingness and all. After that, I am never the same person, and mentally, I think, keeps evolving. Each experience, each project, you keep evolving as a filmmaker. So that's a great thing I've learned from the experience. Then, of course, we all talk about how AI has come into every sector. Film industry is not immune. Long back, you would have heard we always used to shoot on negatives, like film negative. We have Fuji, Kodak, and all that. And there are grains, and it's a wonderful process to film a movie on film negatives. And later, the digital revolution has come. And after that, now AI is coming to the picture, and they are taking over everything. But the fact is, the technology, people are afraid that they might replace the crew members. But I personally feel the technology would assist to create better projects, and it can never replace a director's heart or eye for the cinema. And the last thing is, I would say, it's kind of how to find balance as a filmmaker. So the thing is, a lot of youngsters and students, they come to me and say, what do we need to become, a good filmmaker? I would say, okay, if you have a fancy degree, great, but that's not a mandatory. All you need to have is, you need to have this tremendous passion to read anything under the sun. Like, you have to read anything under the sun, because we filmmakers, we always look for stories wherever you go. So you never know whether a story comes to you or you go to a story. Like, just as an example, last week I went to a refugee camp office here, because there's so much chaos in the world around us, so much conflicts and all. So I went there only to understand the lives of certain displaced people. But there I found some individuals, with the help of the agency, they got a new lease on their life. They've opened coffee shops, beauty salons in the city. That was quite inspiring to see. They turning their challenges into opportunities. So I tell the youngsters always to have this passion for reading anything under the sun, irrespective of the genres, and a will to pursue their dreams. So that would definitely help them to, and willing to go and meet strangers and ask for collaboration. That would definitely help them to, fulfill their dreams. And most importantly, if they have great siblings who can pay their bills when they are struggling, that's even more. That's great. So here I am. Thank you so much for all being here. Have a great day.